Hi friends, how are you doing? Today's July 3, 2021. It's Saturday. We've just come back from church. We decided to try first service this time, and we saw some more of our friends, and we were glad about that. You may notice that the scenery looks a little bit different behind me. We've had a squirrel problem for a couple of months here. And real quickly I'll tell you that they were in the walls and scratching around. They'd gotten in where the gutters had pulled away from the roof and the wood was rotted. So, as a way to make sure they would not be coming back, the apartment complex people, they chopped down my tree that was giving me shade over there. So I've actually moved my tomato plants to the other side where I was sitting. And I have moved to this other side. And right now I'm not in the sun, but it doesn't take long. And the back deck is not as cool and as nice as it used to be, so I really miss that. That was the last thing that I liked about our apartment. The good news is our floors have been put in our house, and our bathroom sink, little vanity. So things are coming along on that regard, and we are very excited. Our house dedication is July 13th. So we're looking forward to that and being able to move in. And I have 3 stories to share with you. Today I'm sharing with you about Zacchaeus the cheater. It is in volume 5 of my Bible Friends. I believe it is the last one in this. Nope, there's one more story in this. So I've got 3 stories to share with you, and this is one. So after today, there'll just be 2. I will miss sharing with you because I've always enjoyed these books, and I always liked them when I was little. There was good artwork, good stories. There's not too many words on each page, so there's plenty of page turning and plenty of pictures. I think that no matter how old you get, you can enjoy some of these stories. I like to share, in this setting because of the trees and stuff, but we are not going to have any trees in our next yard, so I'm trying to speed things along here. We've had some rainy weather, somewhere it was just too hot, so I didn't want to do that. But I will go ahead and share Zacchaeus the cheater, and it is found in Luke 19. Zacchaeus was a little man. He was a rich man, but no one in all of the city of Jericho liked him. It wasn't because Zacchaeus was a little man that no one liked him. It wasn't because Zacchaeus was a rich man that nobody liked him. It was because Zacchaeus was a cheater. Every day he sat beside the king's money box in a tax booth where people came to pay taxes. Every day he cheated the people who came to pay. That's not very nice, is it? And here's his little booth here, and this guy's thinking, what? Are you really going to have me pay that much? This is the way Zacchaeus cheated. If Farmer Philip's tax was 1 silver coin, Zacchaeus charged him more, maybe as much as 2 silver coins. Farmer Philip frowned, but he had to pay. And there he is. There's Farmer Philip paying. After Farmer Philip had gone on his way, Zacchaeus dropped one of the silver coins into the king's money box, but the other silver coin he slipped into the pocket of his robe. And there he is. One goes into the money box, and one's in his pocket. It doesn't make Farmer Philip very happy, do you think? Camel trains pass through Jericho carrying loads of salt and spice on their humpy backs. Always the owner of the camel train must halt his camels at the tax booth and pay tax money on their loads. And always Zacchaeus charged too much tax money. Yes, Zacchaeus was a cheater, and no one at all likes a cheater. But one day something happened that changed Zacchaeus' ways. There's the a camel train coming through. This guy's smart. He's putting the money right in the box. Zacchaeus doesn't have a chance to put any in his pocket. This looks like his helper guy. Down on the riverbank, not far from Jericho, came John the Baptist to tell about Jesus and to tell about heaven. Zacchaeus joined the listening crowd at the river. As he listened, a wish began to grow in his heart. And the longer he listened, the bigger grew his wish. Zacchaeus wished he could change his cheating ways. But how could he change his ways? "Repent," said John. "Be sorry for your cheating. Pay back the money you have wrongly taken." Here's Zacchaeus trying to see over the crowd, and there's John. He wore camel's hair. Remember back here, the camel is in the camel train. If I can get the page to turn. This is a light brown camel. And John's wearing dark brown. Maybe it was dyed a little bit. Zacchaeus hurried away from the river. He would do as John said. He would find Farmer Philip. He would find the owner of the camel train and all the other people he had cheated. He would tell them he was sorry. He would promise to pay back the tax money that he had wrongly taken. Surely the people would believe him when he said, "I'm sorry I cheated you." Do you think they'll believe him? There he goes running away. John's still preaching by the river. You think people will believe him? But when Zacchaeus said, "I'm sorry," not many people believed him. They told one another, "He's always been a cheater. He'll always be a cheater." They shook their heads and turned away. What's more, no one would go to Zacchaeus' house. No one would eat with him. Poor Zacchaeus! What should he do? If only he could see Jesus. Just to look on Jesus' face would help. These guys don't believe him. They're like, "Yeah, right." And there's Zacchaeus thinking, "Come on." I don't know if he's talked to any of these people, but they don't believe him either. They probably wonder, what's his next scheme? What's his next scam? And then, one sunshiny morning, like today, a messenger came running into the city, shouting as he ran, "Ho, everyone! Jesus is coming up the road! Jesus will pass through Jericho!" Men and women left their work. Boys and girls left their play. They ran to the street where Jesus would pass by. Zacchaeus didn't even take time to snatch up the king's money box. He ran with the crowd. There's his helper friend. There's the guy spreading the news, the messenger. And here's Zacchaeus. He's running with the crowd. He wants to see Jesus. Remember, he wants to know if he can get forgiven. But when Zacchaeus reached the gate where Jesus would enter Jericho, the narrow street was jammed with people. He was too short to see over their heads, and no one would make room for him. Well, why would they? He was a cheater, remember? Zacchaeus ran here, he ran there, trying to find a place where he could see. He must see Jesus. He had to see Jesus. But how could he? And then Zacchaeus remembered something. What do you think he remembered? He's trying to see over these people. He's on his tiptoes, or as close as he can. There's a little boy on probably his daddy's neck. Some women looking out of the window. That would have been convenient if you lived there and you could just look out the window. Zacchaeus remembered a sycamore tree that grew beside the city gate, where Jesus would leave Jericho. The sycamore tree was old, so old its branches had grown far out over the street. Zacchaeus turned face about and raced down the street ahead of the crowd. He reached the sycamore. Up, up, up he climbed. What matter if he tore his fine robe, if only he could see Jesus? And here's the tree. It looks pretty old, doesn't it? And he goes running. the people out of the window. I don't know if the crowd backed up a little or if it's a different window. He figures he'll see Jesus one way or another. Zacchaeus climbed out on a branch of the sycamore. He could see the throng far up the street. People were shouting. Some waved palm branches. Zacchaeus shaded his eyes to see better. The man dressed in the white robe around whom all the crowd pressed, that man must be Jesus. And those men trying to make room for him to walk, they must be Jesus' disciples. Slowly the crowd came nearer and nearer. Yeah, there's Zacchaeus up in the tree. Sure enough, there's two windows there. People are looking out. Do you know which one Jesus is? He's the one right there in the middle. Even the priests are there in the crowd. It's hard to make room to walk. There's even people on the rooftops here. They're looking down. Either a two-story house or they just had a house on the wall. Closer, closer, closer came the crowd toward the sycamore tree beside the gate. Now Zacchaeus could see Jesus' face. Never had he seen a face so kind. If only he could talk to Jesus. Tell him he was sorry he had cheated. Tell him he would pay back all of the tax money he had falsely taken. Would Jesus believe him? Or like those others, would Jesus shake his head and turn away? There he is. He's still up in the tree waiting for Jesus. It's funny to see an older guy up in the tree. He's got a white beard, so I'm guessing he's older. And to see him up in a tree. There's that little boy on his daddy's neck. And there's Jesus. But he's making room for him. You can still see the people on the rooftops there. Zacchaeus leaned down to have a last look as Jesus walked under the sycamore tree. But Jesus didn't walk on. He stopped. He looked up. "Zacchaeus," he said, "make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house." Zacchaeus could hardly believe what he heard. Jesus knew his name. Jesus was coming to his house. Jesus would eat with him. Zacchaeus scrambled down out of the tree. He was so excited. There he is, and here's Jesus. Jesus has seen him. There's the priest. They're probably wondering, Jesus is a good guy, but not if he's gonna go to Zacchaeus' house. You think some of these other people are skeptics? Look at this guy. He doesn't look very happy. I don't know if the rest of those people believe that Zacchaeus had changed or not. Maybe they were some of the ones that had been cheated. At the foot of the sycamore tree, Zacchaeus stood before Jesus and made a promise. No, he made two promises. "Lord," he said, "the half of all that I own I am giving to the poor. And if I have taken anything falsely, I am paying it back 4 times, not just once, not even twice or 3 times, but 4 times." Jesus held out his hand to Zacchaeus. Jesus believed him. See, Jesus will forgive anybody if they are truly sorry, and he saw that Zacchaeus meant it. Maybe some of the people didn't believe him, like these priests, but look at this lady. She looks like she believes what Zacchaeus is saying. Maybe she'd seen him try to pay him back. Jesus believes me. When beside my bed I pray, "I'm sorry, Jesus, that I cheated in a game today." He holds out his hand as he did beneath the sycamore. "I believe you, child. Tomorrow play, but cheat no more." In case you think Jesus only shows up in Bible times, when people wore robes and fancy clothes, you're wrong. Jesus is with us today. See, this boy has a map of the United States on his on his wall, and Jesus is in his room. He's praying to Jesus. And that is the end of that one. I'm sure you've all heard the little song. I learned it when I was little. And you'd all like to sing along with me. So let's go. Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. He climbed up in the sycamore tree, for the Lord he wanted to see. And as the Savior passed that way, he looked up in the tree, and he said, Zacchaeus, you come down, for I'm going to your house today. For I'm going to your house today. I learned that when I was a little kid, and I always enjoyed it with the hand motions. And Zacchaeus wasn't a tall guy. He wasn't 6 foot, but he was short. Doesn't say how short, but he was short enough that he couldn't see over anybody else. And I'm glad I'm able to share these stories with you. Give me a thumbs up if you like them. Leave me a comment if you if there's anything about this video that you really enjoyed, or that maybe you have these set of books, the My Bible Friends, and you'd like to share your favorite story. But until next time, I've got 2 more stories I want to share. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. And hope you come back and see me. Bye.